looked like it did Saturday night when I was out there watching that quarterback. And I said the disappointing thing was to stopping the run, which we did a very poor job of. We felt like if we could force them to run the ball, which we did, it would give us a good chance to win, also to shorten the game. We forced them to run the ball. Guess what we didn't do? Stop the run. The run right before the half. We were playing zone defense. When I got in here Sunday morning, looked at the video, I thought we had two defensive backs in position to make the play for an 8-yard gain, and we didn't make it, so it turned into a 56-yard gain. They scored a touchdown. So those are the type of things that are a little bit disappointing for us as a staff that we have to continue to work on to improve, because I don't care how many times you throw the football, you need to stop the run. If you can't stop the run, if they run the ball 2 times, if you can't stop those 2 runs, you will not win a football game. Oh, I'm done already? Hey, it's been a great day. I wish you the best.
Looking at Oklahoma State, they're when you just see that they're opponents, it kind of makes you question what they've done so far. What in your mind?
I don't have any question about what they've done. I went back to last year. I looked at Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma. They were down 14 points in the fourth quarter and came back and won. I looked at Oklahoma State versus University of Washington. They went up and down the field on them. So I believe they played down to their competition. When you go back and look at those 2 ball games now, I see a different ball team. I see a team that's exciting, that can score a lot of points, a quarterback that can make plays, a quarterback that can spread the ball around to all of the receivers. So I see something different. They played down to their level of competition. This is the reason why they ranked in the top 25 right now. They playing pretty good defense. Their special teams are sound. They're able to run the ball on offense, and the quarterback can make plays with his arm.
Vance, talking to Tank the other day, I'm not sure if we got this phrase from you, but he said we're seeing too much defensively. In other words, doing other people's jobs instead of our own. Do you see some of that in your guys?
We do. And the one thing we tell our guys, we don't look for anybody to make a great play. We need for you just to do your job. If you do your job, that is making a great play. When guys try to do more than what they're asked to do, they get in trouble a lot of times. And that's where we've been so far. Guys trying to do somebody else's work, which means that makes you weaker in your own area. So we need to slow things down and just do one thing at a time, one step at a time. And if we can get those things done, we will improve on defense.
Coach, it seems like guys in the secondary are playing a little bit back, trying not to give up the deep ball. Do you want those guys to be a little bit more aggressive, or is that just a confidence level that some guys need to have?
It's a combination of all the things you just said. I'm an old school guy. I played for Leon Fuller, and we walked up in your face and go for what you know. So that's my philosophy. Right now we have some young guys that are learning how to play. They need to just start playing with more confidence. When you sit back and play it safe, you know what happens? Big plays. You better off going just jump in there and let it go and see what happens. That's what these young guys need to do. Just go turn it loose and let the chips fall where they may. And I think we'll improve quite a bit in the secondary if those things do occur.
Jason Hall will be ready to go.
Jason Hall was at practice yesterday, and he's full go, and he's ready to go right now. And we played 2 young guys last week, Vaccaro and Locke. They both did, decent jobs for us. So we gained depth last week at that position, which was a good thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing all those guys continue to play and improve this season.
Granted, with Dylan's play, the rule is what the rule is, but did you talk to him about changing anything about his style?
Everyone here knows my man, Mr. Haynes. Now, think about it. Do you think he really went to target somebody? Okay, I can't comment on any official. They saw what they saw. Officials have the toughest job in the country. I would not want their job. I mean, whatever they do, people are going to complain about it, and those guys doing the very best they can do. I mean, I wish I was an official. I wouldn't have a job very long. But because I'll be throwing flags, because what I'll be saying, I mean, I'm a defensive guy. Really? Come on.
Edwin Freeman got a lot of flack on TV and online for taking a dive the other day. Is he really hurt, and what's his status right now?
It's a day-to-day thing, and he's getting x-rays and that type of thing. But that's a young man that will not take a dive. He's as tough as they come. And he came out of the game because he had to come out of the game. And that's where it stands right now. So it's a day-to-day situation with our trainers and that type of thing. And we have to see what happens.
So there's a chance he could play?
It's always a chance that anybody can play. He's been evaluated. That's not a yes or a no. It's just a day-to-day thing with him.
Coach, when you grew up and watched defenses as a defensive coordinator, kind of change what you think is success especially in college landscape for defense? I mean, because 30 points may not be enough to win.
You look across this country, and the old goal was 17 points or less. When you look at how offenses are today, a majority of them are spread offenses. And Alabama plays as good a defense as anybody across this country, and I think they gave up 30-plus points this past weekend. And I know Muschamp, who was here now, D said Auburn, and you see how they're struggling on defense right now because of the style of offenses that people are playing. You see Stanford upset, I think it was USC, I believe, and the amount of points being given up. It's a different era. It's a different game, and we have to adjust. And that's the biggest thing that some of us old hats have a hard time doing, is adjusting to the change. There are a lot of one-on-one tackles out there because of spread offenses right now. And you go back to 15 years ago, it's two backs in the backfield, two tight ends, you can load the box. They might throw the ball 20 times a game. Well, now it's the reverse. It's 60% pass, 40% run, and it's spread from sideline to sideline. And that's where the game has changed. Even the NFL has changed. I mean, you see more and more spread offenses, not like you do here with running quarterbacks, but you see a lot more one-back set. Back in the day, we used to call it shotgun. Now somebody, spread offense. No, it's shotgun. Get a life. Somebody always want to come up with something new and a new name. Look at me, look what I've done. No, it's been shotgun for years. They just put a quarterback in shotgun now. With athletic quarterbacks, now they do the zone read play. But the game has changed, and the defensive coach is trying to adjust with it.
So success, basically, you just give up less points than your opponent? I mean, is that pretty much what it is?
The name of the game is this. If you can get off the field on third down, you could take points off the board. And I look at it from this standpoint is, let's say a team is scoring 35 points a game. If you hold them at 21, that's a good day because you held them 14 points on their average. At the end of the year, I go back to last year, we looked at the majority of teams we played, and most of the teams we played, we held them anywhere from 14 to 7 points underneath their average, which give you an opportunity to win ball games. And that's really what the game has changed right now. If you can slow them down and your offense can score, you're in position to win some ball games.
So you compared Malik to Russell Wilson and Goff to Aaron Rodgers. What do you got for Mason Rudolph?
He's a little bit of Wheaton. Wheaton was a first-round pick out of Oklahoma State that came out of nowhere. He's a different quarterback from a year ago. He's more mature. He makes the throws. He doesn't panic. He knows who his receivers are. He knows what his abilities are. And that's why they're having success this year, because of what he's done so far this season. I'm very impressed with the things he's done. We're going to have our hands full just trying to corral his receivers and him as a quarterback.
Coach, you talked about stopping the run and how bad you guys were at that last week. What are the things you can do going forward to try to improve that?
It still comes back to the fundamentals. It's, the old coaches say blocking, running, and tackling. That's it. You have to disengage up front, get off of blocks. Linebackers, if you have a guy on you got to disengage. Secondary, we say cup to football. Keep the ball inside and front. We had two big plays last week. One I already spoke about. When the zone coverage right before the half, the ball went for 56 yards. I came in Sunday morning, I ran it, clicker back I put it in slow motion, and I stopped it. I said, this play should go for 8 yards. We had a cornerback outside with a safety inside. It went for 56 yards. If I freeze it at that one spot, it's an 8-yard gain. We're in position to make a play, we lost the ball. Then we have we call it field cowboy, bring the corner off the edge. We got a pirate that's a stunt by a defensive end, 3 technique in the A gap, Fox in the B gap. And the ball split us right down the middle with a box loaded with a corner coming off the edge, basically for 70 yards. You have the box loaded, you bring a guy off the edge, and if you had to go draw it up on the paper, it says that's not going to happen. It did, and the guy who was running the ball was a guy who was a sprint champion in form. No angles. Anytime you have a vertical seam and a guy can run, you're not going to bring him down. And so it's fundamental football, guys. It's disengaging up front, linebacker, secondary, cupping the ball. Things we've been working on, talking about this year, last year, 10 years ago. It hasn't changed. Right now, we're just doing a very poor job of getting those things done.
There were some games last year where your unit had very little margin for error because the offense wasn't scoring. With Gerard running up and down the field, you have a little more leeway.
As a defensive coach, there's never any leeway. The name of the game is get the ball back for the offense. How do you do that? On third down, get off the field. You go back to the Rice game, we had 5 takeaways, one we gave back, so technically you only have 4 takeaways. That's what we have to do. We have to find a way to get turnovers. Last week we had 2 turnovers. One led to a touchdown, then we gave another touchdown a minute later. So that nullified that play. So we need to find a way to shorten the game, have some 3 and outs and get some takeaways, put the ball in Gerard's hands. Because here's a young man that can do certain things with the ball. He's scary. I sit back and watch him. I'm not an offensive watcher as a defensive coach. I'm on the sideline. I have to be honest now. When he's out there, I take a peek. I got to be honest, 'cause I'm like, I don't know what this cat going to do, but I'm watching Cal, and Cal rushing 2 guys. They rushing 2 guys. They have 2 guys spot him. He's still going for 35 yards of rush. I'm like, wow. I saw that in spring practice. Here and I was talking yesterday. I said, Gerard, I'm so glad you got down, because in the spring I was coming after you. I said, I remember, Coach, that's why I was getting down. And that's what team is all about.
Did they spy 2 guys all day long on Gerard?
Not originally. They didn't know who he was or what he could do. So they started off rushing 4 or 5, and he kept coming out of there. And I looked in the fourth quarter. They in 4 down, only 2 guys rushed. And the other guys were sitting for the scramble, and that's when he was throwing the ball extremely well, because no pass rush right now. And what Gerard can do for an offensive line is that if you rush him, he pulls the ball down. So now, as a defensive lineman, as a coach, you say, we got to keep this guy in the pocket. Control him, don't let him scramble, so now you're not getting a rush. Now he has time to throw the football, and that's what Gerard brings to the table for the offensive line. He made them better real fast.
Is it hard to spy on him effectively? Because in space, you can spy on him and still he's going to juke somebody out.
Well, you need to have a linebacker that can run, or a defensive back that can run, that can get him down in space. And your front 3 or 4 needs to push the pocket, corral him, only give him one way to escape, and then you have a chance to get him. And Saturday night, from what I can tell, I didn't see the offensive video, just on the sideline. He had about 3 or 4 escape routes, and it's like, wow. He's a different cat.
Coach, speaking of him, in the fourth quarter, you guys didn't give up any points. How much of that could be attributed to Gerard Hurd, the enthusiasm, the excitement that he was generating? Did your defense feed off of that at all?
They did feed off of that, but I'm one of them guys, I'm going to shoot you honest. Cal tried to slow the game down. Number 1, the offense was moving the ball, which helped us out. So I'm watching them. They letting the clock run down to 5 seconds. They had the lead. They're taking time off the clock. They tried to run the ball. We finally had the box loaded and stopped. And then they threw it when they had to, and we got off the field on 3rd down. So it gave us an opportunity to get back in the game, number 1, because of what my man Hurd was doing. They did not want to put their defense back out there because they could not contain Hurd. So it helped us defensively also.
3 last ones. Vance, I know we go. Go ahead.
What
Anthony?
does Fred Akers mean to you, and how proud are you of him that he's going into the Longhorn Hall of Honor this week?
It's about time. It's about time. He should have been there a long time ago. Last year, and Les Canning, we all both played for him. We were captain for him in 1980. We talked to a lot of people who on the board and that type of thing about why he was never on the list. It's about time. I am so excited for Coach Akers. I respect him. He means the world to me because he brought me here to this university. He helped develop me to be the person I am today. He should have been there a long time ago, and why he was never on the list, I wish somebody would please tell me why he wasn't on the list a long time ago, because I think the man was a special man. He came in here when things were changing as far as integration across this country and this conference. He came into a tough situation. I mean, you look at my first recruiting class, it was 30 of us. I think it might have been 4 African Americans in our class. The next class was majority African Americans. That's Donnie Little, Lawrence Sambleton, Kenneth Sims. So he changed the landscape of recruiting and football here at the University of Texas. So I am thrilled. I am excited because of the love and the respect I have for Fred Akers, what he did for me and a lot of young people.
Vance, we joke about it every week about tickets and getting here and all that. But this week, there's over 15,000 tickets still available. 3rd straight week, big blocks of tickets. What do you think that is? Is it fans upset with the team? Is it Patterson? Is it their two cost too much?
I don't have an answer for that. I'm a defensive coach, and I've been all over the country. People like offense. Let's be for real. If I was a fan right now, I want a ticket. I want to see Hurd. If I'm them 15,000 tickets, I want to see Hurd. You have any tickets available? People love offense. Let's be for real. I mean, they like defense. They love offense. You know, it's just like I love my wife. I like a lot of people, but I love my wife. It's a difference. And at the end of the day, people love offense. It's just that simple. And I got to be honest, I wouldn't mind sitting in the stands watching her run around my own self. But I have to work and try to slow him down to give her the chance to score some points to give us a chance to win. But at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You know, people talking, and we're not playing good defense by any means. I totally understand that, and people mad, and I'm mad too. I can't sleep sometimes. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to see a dynamic player on offense. Across this country, whether you're at Alabama, USC, Florida, Oklahoma State, TCU, or Baylor, it makes no difference. They love offense. They love a lot of points. And that's what this day and age is about, scoring a lot of points.
Is that why you think after the game, everybody stayed? The place was still full for what it was, and the crowd stayed, and the team got a good ovation.
They love her. I think that's a sign of good things to come. And I expect to see those 15,000 tickets go extremely fast because, again, people say, well, you're boring. You know, my wife told me sometimes I dress boring like an old guy. I am old. I mean, just don't dress how old people dress. I mean, so at the end of the day, people want to see offense. You know, I have people calling me, hey, you guys played great. You know, I'm mad, upset, pissed off. I mean, how the hell we played great? We gave up 500 yards. We gave up all these points. They're not great, but you guys getting better. You know what they're talking about? Hurd. All they're talking about was Hurd. You know, for the past 2 weeks, man, people are calling me like I'm sick, like I'm dying or something. I'm good. I mean, all of a sudden, now, boy, you guys played great. We lost. We gave up a lot of points. How you see that? Offense. That's all they're talking about is offense. So at the end of the day, they talk a little bit about defense. They really don't care. But as long as they score a lot of points, the fans are thrilled to death. They're excited. They come and drink beer, have your umbrellas on your head for the sun. You may be pina coladas, whatever they drink, I don't know, but they're all thrilled right now. Garfield Hurd running around. I call him Garfield, just to let you know that. So people are going to say, well, you only know his name. I know his name's Gerard. I call him Garfield, so get your life right.
You used to talk about defense here back when you were playing.
They did, but you know what? They still want to talk about offense. Think about it. So no matter what you did, it still came back to what? Offense. We had Earl Campbell, we had Earl, then we had Johnny Lamb and Ham, and you had all those guys. And so at the end of the day, they like defense. They still wanted to see what? Offense. And I mean, because that's what sells tickets. Let's be for real. What sells tickets are people want to see a lot of points. They don't want to see you win 9-7 because they're not going to complain. Well, they can't score any points, but we won. But if it's 45-44 and you lost, people are excited. That's why I guess because they drink a lot in the stands now, and I wonder beer sales going pretty good. What do you think?
Charlie was excited, wasn't he?
You know what? Not the strong I know. I mean, he sat in there with us. He wasn't very happy. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we lost. And I know the fans are excited, like, oh, you know, we can score points now. Well, we always can score points. It's just a matter of how much you had to score to win.
Or why do you call him Garfield?
You know what? I don't know if you remember the basketball player Garfield Hurd. I just always have nicknames. When I was at Louisville, I had guys named. I had this one guy. I used to call him Krispy Kreme. Now he's a star linebacker for the Buffalo Bills. I told him he was soft as Krispy Kreme donuts. I had another guy I used to call soft serve ice cream at McDonald's. So you so soft, you won't hit anybody. He was a first-round pick for the Eagles. I had a running back of 235 pounds. You know, I call him Dunkin' Donuts. I say, you like a Dunkin' Donut, you soft. So I love giving people nicknames. I just call him Garfield just because I just like giving guys names. I like to have some fun. We sit back and laugh and joke about it. You know, at the end of the day, they're kids. They want to get to know who you are. They want to have fun. Sometimes coaches forget that they got to go to school. They got so many things to do. Let's go out and have some fun with the guys. So I give guys nicknames. Some nicknames I can't tell you what I give them. You know, that's behind closed doors.
Players don't give you a nickname, do they?
I done had every kind of nickname you could imagine. So I don't know what they call me right now. It's been very interesting over the past 30 years.
Thanks all.
Appreciate it. You gentlemen have a great day.